The MLB regular season is officially wrapped up, and it's time for the playoffs. And the ending of the regular season was very exciting. There was a ton of meaningful games at the end, with the Guardians and Tigers fighting for the division, the Blue Jays and Yankees fighting for their division, and the Mets and Reds fighting for the last wildcard spot. And this should be a very exciting postseason. But before getting into the video, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any other videos, and here are my predictions. So starting out in the AL wildcard, we have the Tigers versus the Guardians. In game 1, it's set to be Tarek Skubal versus Gavin Williams, and this is a very good pitching matchup. Skubal's in line to win his second straight Cy Young Award, ending the season pitching 195 innings, 241 strikeouts, a .89 whip, and a 2.21 ERA with a 6.5 WAR. But Gavin Williams has been great lately as well, ending his season with 167 innings, 173 strikeouts, and a 3.06 ERA, but he did lead the MLB in walks this season. And then in the month of September, in his last 4 starts, he had a 1.4 ERA in 24 innings. And right now, he's just truly the Guardians' ace. But currently, the Guardians are the hottest team in the MLB. They've won 19 out of their last 23 games, and the Guardians set the MLB record for the largest division comeback in MLB history, where they came back from down 15.5 games over the Tigers, and when they were back 15.5 games, Fangraphs had them at a 0.0% chance to win the division, but somehow they were able to do it, and do it with no offense. This season, the team's been carried just by their pitching staff and their defense, and they even made the playoffs with a -6 run differential. I think this is going to be a hard-fought series, but the Guardians did go 8-5 versus the Tigers this season, and with how hot they've been, I have the Guardians winning. Then the Red Sox versus Yankees, another great divisional matchup. This season, Boston went 9-4 versus the Yankees, and went 5-2 in New York. And in this first game, it's going to be Garrett Crochet versus Max Fried, and Garrett Crochet started 4 games this season versus the Yankees, and the Red Sox won all 4 games that he pitched, and Max Fried pitched 3 games against the Red Sox this season, and the Yankees only won 1 of those games. So this could be a very hard-fought game 1, and pretty low scoring as well. The Yankees are coming into the playoffs really hot, winning their last 8 games of the regular season, but Boston has played the Yankees really well, especially in New York, and Boston's had a really good bullpen, especially with Aroldis Chapman having his best season of his career. I think this series is going to go the full 3 games, and I have the Red Sox winning. Then going over to the NL wildcard, the first series, the Reds versus Dodgers. It was awesome to see the Reds make the playoffs with their first season with Terry Francona as manager, and it was just crazy how the Mets collapsed at the end of the season, and they were able to make it. But the Dodgers are just really good. The Dodgers went 5-1 versus the Red Sox in the regular season, and right now the Dodgers starting pitching is healthy. Right now their rotation isn't out for the wild card round, but they have Yamamoto, they have Ohtani, Tyler Glasnow, and Blake Snell. Their rotation's just loaded, and they also have one of the best lineups in the MLB. So I'm excited to see the Reds in the playoffs, but they are just a very young team, and most of their players don't have much playoff experience at all. So I have the Dodgers winning. Then the Padres versus Cubs. In the regular season, they split the season series 3-3, with each team taking 2 out of 3 at home, but both of these series were in April, so they haven't played each other in nearly 6 months. So both of these teams have changed a lot since then. The Padres have had the best bullpen this season. They have the best bullpen ERA and the most WAR, and Mason Miller has just been incredible in their bullpen since the trade deadline. He has just a .7 ERA with the Padres over 22 games, and already has 45 strikeouts as well, and he just looked like the elite Mason Miller we all saw last season. And then they also have Robert Suarez, and he had 40 saves this season. Then Jeremiah Estrada's great reliever. He gets a ton of strikeouts. Then they also have a few other great arms, and their lineup is really good as well, with Machado, Tatis, Bogarts, Merrill, Arise, but they did lose Ramon Laureano to a broken finger, but he shouldn't miss that much time. But the Cubs are also really good this season. They won 92 games, but I feel like their offense has cooled down a lot since the middle of the season, especially Pete Crow Armstrong. In September, he batted just .219 with a .645 OPS, and he played even worse in August with a .160 average, a .446 OPS, and only only had 1 home run, but maybe it'll turn it around in the playoffs. They did recently get Kyle Tucker back from the injured list, and Michael Busch is red hot lately. He has 5 home runs in the last 7 games, and overall in September he had 253, 1,000 OPS, 6 doubles, and 8 home runs. So I think this could be a very close series. I think the Cubs have the advantage on the starting pitching side, but the Padres have the best bullpen in the game, so I have the Padres winning the series. Then moving over to the ALDS, the Guardians versus Mariners. In the regular season, the Mariners won 4 out of 6 games. The Mariners have a great offense, but their pitching staff did decline a little bit this season, but they really have an advantage with Cal Raleigh. He's just having such a phenomenal season. He's right up there in the MVP race, and this would be another really tough series. But the last series they did play each other, the Guardians took 2 out of 3 at home, but the Mariners did sweep them earlier in the season in Seattle. But with how good the Guardians pitching staff has been, I think they would take the series in 5 games. Then for Red Sox versus Blue Jays, the Blue Jays won the season series 8-5, and this Blue Jays offense is just really good. Vladdy's having a great season with 34 doubles, 23 home runs, over a 290 average, and 4.6 WAR. Bo Bichette had a good season, hitting 311 with an 840 OPS and had 181 hits. Then George Springer had one of his best seasons of his career, hitting 309 with 27 doubles, 32 home runs, a 959 OPS, and 4.8 WAR. Then Alejandro Kirk had another great season, hitting 280, 18 doubles, 15 home runs, 2 WAR, and their offense is just really good, but their pitching staff does concern me a little bit. But I really like the Shane Bieber addition at the deadline, but I think they could hold it down with Bieber, Gausman, Chris Bassett, and Berrios. But Boston's pitching staff is really good, especially with Crochet at the top. He'll probably get second place for Cy Young in the AL this season, and they also have a solid bullpen, so I think this could be a tight series. But this Red Sox team just has a really young offense, and with how good the Blue Jays offense is, I have the Blue Jays winning the series. Then in the NLDS, the Dodgers versus Phillies. The Phillies ended the season with the second best record at 96-66, and they played the Dodgers really well, going 4-2 versus them in the regular season, and the additions to their bullpen were really good, especially Johan Duran. In his 23 games with the Phillies, he pitched 20.2 innings, had a 2.18 ERA, and 27 strikeouts, while also having 16 saves. Then Matt Strahm had a very good season as well, pitching 62.1 innings and having a 1.0 whip, a 2.74 ERA, and 70 strikeouts. And overall, they have a pretty good bullpen, and they probably have the best rotation in the MLB. And they still have a really good core of that offense with Kyle Schwarber, Bryce Harper, and Trey Turner. And I feel like this is their last chance of winning the World Series with this current roster, especially with Schwarber being a free agent after the season. But I think the Dodgers are overall the most complete team. Their rotation is really good, and they're healthy right now. They also have such a good offense. So I think this would go to 5 games, and I would have the Dodgers winning. Then the Padres versus Brewers. The Brewers did have the best record in the MLB this season at 97-65, but they did lose the season series to San Diego 4-2. The Brewers are another team just like the Guardians that just keep winning no matter how little they spend. They're just built off making good trades and bringing up guys through their own system. But I just don't know if this Brewers team has enough to get past this Padres bullpen. I really like this Padres bullpen, and statistically it is the best in the MLB. So with that being said, I have the Padres winning the series. Then in the ALCS, we have the Guardians versus Blue Jays. This is where I think the Guardians offense is really going to start holding them back. The Guardians did have actually one of the worst offenses in the entire MLB this season, despite winning 88 games. Just all season long, they've been carried by their pitching and their defense. Like this season, they had the 29th batting average in the MLB at a 226 average, which is the worst ever to make the playoffs. And they had the 29th team OPS at a 670. Their offense is just horrible. It's just so much that a pitching staff can carry a team without the offense clicking at a high level. And this Blue Jays offense is just really good. I still think this series would go 6 games, games, but I have the Blue Jays winning. Then the Dodgers versus Padres. In the regular season, the Dodgers went 9-4 versus the Padres, and I feel like this would be one of the closest series of the playoffs. With the Padres' great bullpen, the Dodgers also have a great rotation if it stays healthy throughout the playoffs, but I think the Dodgers would take the series in 7 games. Then in the World Series, the Blue Jays versus Dodgers. Overall, I think this would be a fun World Series, but I just don't think the Blue Jays would have the pitching staff to get over the Dodgers, so I would have the Dodgers winning back-to-back World Series. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments who you think is going to win the World Series this season, and if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe. Goodbye.